Hi everyone, I'm Sonnet and I'm from the Brain Together project, and I'm going to introduce our neural hacks project and what we made. So for this hackathon, we made a website which talks a lot about the injustices and a lot of the racial disparities that face America, especially with everything going on. We thought that this was a really important issue that we wanted to address and talk about and shed more light on. So that's sort of what inspired us to make this project and create the various functionalities that are on the website. So here you can see this is our home page. We have this navigation bar at the top, and we have this graphic that showcases a lot of the concepts regarding race and a lot of things like that. For example, you can see that there are words like race, gender, which affects like a lot of racial tension as well. Interconnected, intersectionality, and a lot of those keywords. So that's our homepage, and then and then this is sort of our mission statement, racial equality, and like our founding purpose rather. So racial equality in the US is a huge problem that needs to be solved. This website displays graphs and information about the inequality and helps people be more educated. So we talked about what racism is, what race is, and what systematic racism is, because that's a really important concept to understand during these times to facilitate change and understand what's going on in the world to make a better difference. Here we talk about a lot of the criminal justice and public administration system, especially with all the police brutality and violence lately. This is sort of like a summation, some important information that is important to know. And then we showed a lot of graphs showing racial inequalities, because this is a really easy way to see all of the um, like it's like a really easy summary to see all the numbers behind all the racism. And you can see that the unemployment rates for white people are way lower than black people. You can see by this line here. And here, employment population ratio, again, you can see that black people have a way lower employment ratio, which is a huge deal. And then you can also see that even though there is a lot of racism, it is getting helped a little bit. You can see that the black members in Congress are gradually rising. And then the per capita income of black people is rising slightly as well, even though you can see it's still lower than black people and than white people. And we can also see the household wealth of African Americans is also much lower. Okay, so we also have this one over here, related, which brings us to this site. This shows us a lot of the related content that's currently being posted on Instagram. You know, you can view the profile, and you can see more and learn more about all of these Instagram sites, which we fully support, and learn more about the racial inequalities. Here you can also see videos where we display some videos on racism that we think just talk about racism and summarize it really well. So we have a short film on racial discrimination, which I highly encourage everyone to watch, and and a video about standing up to racism, and information about anti-racism protests held in several countries, and of course the "I Have a Dream" speech by Martin Luther King that all of our group members really like and support, and it's a very important message still today. We also have our resources, where these are links that you can click, that will bring you to other pages, and educate you further on that. And then we also have our blog that we wrote, and just talked about more about like why racism is such a big issue and that it still needs to be dealt with. So obviously our site has a lot of content on it, and we talked a lot about about a lot of different topics. But I'm just going to show you guys the code that went behind that. So for the code, I'm going to go through it really quickly. We have the index.html with the home page. We have all the classic stuff, stuff in the head, define the navigation bar, and then a lot of text and CSS for a lot of the images that we had, and a lot of CSS for all the rest of the stuff. In the assets folder, you see we have the CSS, the images, JavaScript. And then we also have our blog.html with all of our content that talked about everything that happened with all the various headers. We have the related.html with all of our Instagram media. This was actually a huge problem, not a huge problem, a huge blockade that we went through to learn how to import that Instagram stuff into there. So that's something that we learned was very helpful. And then also the videos.html, embedding the videos was something that we had to learn. So that was also a really interesting process. Over here you can see that we have this, and we have the iframe. And then we also have the resources at HTML already linked, a lot of very useful and important sites. So yeah, that's a quick summarization of our project, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed creating it.